Listen, Anthony Richardson has not been pulling his weight. And TJ, you were the first to come in here and say they got to go to Flacco. And I'm like, They just can't do it. They won't do it. They shouldn't do it. He needs his reps. He's got to do it. I'm just wondering, when we'll hear from Shane Steichen on this, I'm just wondering if the I was tired thing put a thumb on the scale here. Mm-hmm. Again, you have to wonder that. Let's put it that way. You have to wonder that because there are some serious grown-ass men in football, professional football locker rooms who aren't going to sit around and say, we've just got to go with the ups and downs of this kid after he says, I had to get out for a play because I was tired. There might be some in that room who are like, I'll deal with the ups and downs. Because I believe in this kid. I see all the hard work that he puts in, and he may be putting in all that hard work too. And he's definitely, as you could see, focused on the leadership part of this thing. Like he'll stand in the tunnel and make sure he's slapping everybody in the hands as they're coming out or going back into the locker room. And then even he's standing there too, doing that even after throwing a terrible interception that cost his team dearly in a game they had to win if they wanted to, if they have designs on the division, having already lost week 1 to Houston, and you had Houston in their home and you're playing competitively. And again, that soundbite where he goes, I got to be honest with you, I was tired. For him to say that, and he might have the capital built up in the locker room where a bunch of the vets will be like, don't worry, kid, we've got your back. We understand that you did that. We felt like that way before. I don't know. I have no idea. Yeah. That's the whole part and parcel of doing a job like this is we're not there. We're not in the locker room. We don't hear it.
Yeah, we don't know the relationship he has with the teammates. They might have taken them to the side and been like, look, kid, you can't not. And right. I kind of hope that is the case.
And let's go beat Minnesota.
Yeah,
But there is no doubt. And to your point, as you were saying, they got to go to Flacco a few weeks ago because of how ineffectual the play was from Anthony Richardson, whose season 1 got cut short by injury, which led to the fact that now you've got to go through the ups and downs in year 2. And your plan as a general manager in these situations are, okay, we'll go through the ups and downs in year 1, and then year 2 we'll be able to win together. Maybe year 2 will be that year that he grows up, and then now year 2 is another year of having to go through the ups and downs. That's the problem about being hurt last year. And now you're in this situation, as you were saying, they got to go to Flacco earlier. There is no doubt in my mind. You look at the schedule. Can you put up the Indianapolis Colts schedule? And it starts with Sunday night. There is no doubt in my mind that when Kevin O'Connell heard Joe Flacco was starting Sunday Night Football, he's like, damn it.
You're probably right.
And if you asked Sean McDermott, if you asked Jeff Ulbrich, the interim head coach of the New York Jets, we're looking at the schedule. You ask, by the way, I'd love to hear Dan Campbell on sodium pentothal hooked up to a lie detector machine. You can tell no lies, and he's a straight shooter to begin with. I'm just saying, you asked Gerard Mayo week 13 and Sean Payton week 15. Who would you rather face? Anthony Richardson going through the ups and downs, running the risk that he finally clicks, that the, if you will, coin finally drops in that jukebox finally and the music starts playing? I know that's an old school reference.
Kids are like,
you
what?
Run that risk. Maybe it's the game that he puts it all together. Would you rather run that risk or watch Joe Flacco come out and beat Joe Flacco? Not a single head coach in the NFL would say, oh, yeah, give me Joe Flacco. I don't want to face that kid and he could possibly put it all together. And maybe that's where Shane Steichen sits down and he takes some form of a pulse of his locker room, right? And goes, we got to make the switch. Because they can win a wild card spot right now.
Yeah, and everyone's been talking about development. You got to develop, of course. Obviously, the quarterback needs developed. But there's also 52 other guys on the roster who also need to develop, and you have to think about their careers and their opportunities to win right now as well.
Joe Flacco is going to get another shot at starting, man.
Flacco season, baby.
Dude, let's just real quick. At this point last year, he's sitting on the couch.
Yeah, when did he become the Browns?
I think this point last year, he was still sitting on the couch, gents.
Let's see. I'll tell you.
Because I think it was right around now that Deshaun Watson was beating the Ravens in that game in Baltimore. I think it was right around now.
Yeah, so Joe Flacco started 5 games for the
Browns. He's sitting at home. He's probably going through drop-off for the kids.
Yep. Then going to work out.
Other parents showing up to him and saying, "What? Are you still playing, Joe?
Yeah.
Are you going to play? Like, is your career over?" Like, probably hearing that from some of the moms and the dads at pickup.
Joe Flacco got signed by the Browns November after Thanksgiving.
November 20th.
Dude. Yeah. Then he goes and wins comeback player of the year. Colts grab him. And it's just one of those things like, man, so if Anthony Richardson gets hurt, you're just going to have to remake your offense, huh?
It seems like it, because they don't have the same skill set.
It's unreal. And now he's going to be potentially, like, the question is how long? How long does he stay there?
The whole season, man.
You really think so? You're going to go into year 3 wondering if Anthony Richardson's the guy?
Chris had a good point yesterday. It might be a full year. We're figuring out this is not an easy position to play. Look at Baker. Even Russ. Russ said something in his post game, which I want to point out to you guys. It was almost like he was saying, "I'm still learning this, even at this time in my career." It's going to take time.
Maybe he's learning the new offense. He could have been referring to that, or still the position. I mean, look at Jared Goff. We can go on and on and on and look at all the guys in their Geno Smith in their dotage.
You're going to always learn and get better. This is the toughest position in sports. So to expect a 22-year-old to have it right off the bat, it's kind of unrealistic.
Without a lot of experience at the college level, but now it's going to be Flacco on Sunday Night Football.
Flacco season
against the Minnesota Vikings. How about them apples? Renee Montgomery coming up in hour 3.
I mean, I hate to say I told you so, but
well, you were saying it, and I was pushing back saying they can't do it, and they kept on at it. And again, I don't know, because Dan Orlovsky's an all-22 guy, and if he's sitting there saying there are some plays that his receivers didn't make, then Steichen's seeing that too. Mm-hmm. Okay? Everybody's seeing it. Kevin O'Connell's seeing it. Brian Flores getting ready for Anthony Richardson up until this point was seeing it. Everybody sees it. Everybody sees the same film, and they have the same interpretation. They know if the kid's having problems seeing the field or what happens. Everybody sees it. If he's sitting there saying he saw some plays that Richardson was making, but his other compatriots on the play were not, then Steichen saw that too, and then decided that the way the game ended, the way that he said that he was tired, because I'm sure the way that he told the rest of the media he was tired was readily apparent to everybody on the sideline from the third quarter on of that game. They knew it. He said, I need a blow. Flacco knew it, running out there, handing off to Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I do think it's interesting. Not one former player, not one former coach, not one former front office person has said this week, "Oh, yeah, I get it.
I get it."
Not one person. Every single one that I've heard
lockstep
has said, "I've never seen that before. Unacceptable."
Daniel Jeremiah said not even in high school he's seen that.
Like, that's crazy.
Now we're seeing Joe Flacco. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku Channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.